Are you ready for the killer freeze that's about to hit the UK? Every year right around when the headlines start, you know the time, right about now. The big freeze, the snow bombs, the worst winter on record. Usually for the last decade we've been able to take that with a pinch of salt. We get a little flurry, the kids get a day off school, and it's gone by Tuesday. But I'm looking at the warnings coming in now, and it ain't just the usual tabloids looking for clicks. This time the weather models, the independent ones and the official ones are all singing from the same hymn sheet. We're seeing danger for life warnings being mentioned, snow bomb alerts, amber alerts. And I'm not a doom and gloom person, you all know that. But when the scientists start using this kind of language, it's time to stop scrolling and start checking your gear. Now here's the reality. Our grid in the UK, it's under a hell of a lot of pressure right now. Between the current energy policies and the sheer strain of a massive cold snap, we're in a vulnerable spot in the UK. Now if the grid can sustain it, then great, we're just cold. Then if this upcoming weather is the straw that breaks the camel's back, then you don't want to be the one figuring it out when it's already too late and you can't get out your house. Everyone knows the UK comes to a standstill with the tiniest bit of snow. Now I'm not saying that society is going to collapse, I'm not at all. But being without power in sub-zero temperatures for at least 3 days, if you're not ready, that is a genuine emergency. Now this week I am going to be getting my winter gear out of the cupboards and into the ready position. I ain't going to be caught short. I'm not just talking about heavy coats and beanie hats for taking the dog for a walk. I'm talking about all of your indoor preps. Now I'm hoping, looking at the current weather this week, that I'm not already too late. Now we all know the UK. Dusting brings us to a standstill. Grit bins don't have grit in them anymore. Buses stop driving up the bus routes. And people just cannot cope with the tiniest bit of snow. If you ask your neighbour what a snow tyre is, they're going to laugh at you and go, what the hell's a snow tyre? Yeah. Now here's a tip if it gets really bad and you are cold. Put a small pop-up tent or a pole tent, if that's all you've got, into a smallest room and then sleep inside it. Or have your kids sleep inside it. Now your body heat is going to stay trapped in that tiny little space instead of heating your whole room. You'll stay significantly warmer in that tiny little space than if you were trying to heat your whole room. You need to trust me on this one. It might sound extreme, but I'm telling you now it works. Now I'm also going to be lighting, checking and priming my gas stoves. I said stoves, yeah, I've got several of them, all different types of gas canister. I've also got a portable gas heater and some of them Coleman gas lanterns too. They are really good. Now if you have these, you can't just assume that they work because they worked last year. You need to check. Check the seals, check all your fuel levels and make sure you know exactly where everything is stored. You need to have the right gas for the right gas stoves or they're pointless. Now to be honest, and you probably didn't think this, but I actually rely more on candles than I do my power bank when it comes to a power outage. And when living where I live, believe it or not, we actually have a few of them. I have actually got some big Anker type solar powered charge battery units and they keep their power for ages. But if our power goes out, my battery pack's going around my wife's nan's because she's got one of them CPAP machines. Right now, your backup is all about gas and candles. Make sure you've got a few torches too, guys. They always come in handy. Now here's a budget hack for you. Check those Christmas sales. IKEA and Home Bargains, B&M. Check them all now. It's the right time of year to do so. You're going to get loads of those massive pillar candles, you know, the ones, the great big thick things you get in church. The price that they're charging for them now, you can't even buy the raw wax for and make them yourself. What you need to do though, guys, is get the ones with the really long burn times if you can. Obviously, beggars can't be choosers if the price is right, but there you go. They provide a little bit of light, a little bit of heat, and a lot of mental comfort when the lights go out. You do, however, need to use just a little bit of common sense when using candles. Keep them away from low-hanging curtains and anything else that's flammable, and also keep them away from small children and pets. Accidents can and do happen, so you need to be careful with that one. Just because you want to stay warm, it isn't worth burning down your house. There are a lot of people in the prepping community are lone wolves. We keep our preps to ourselves. None of you lot know where I live, so hey ho. What we don't want is the whole street at our door if things go wrong. We're preparing for us and our family and our closest friends if you're in a bit of a co-op. Don't, however, lose your humanity. If you've got an elderly neighbour that needs some help or someone's really struggling, it's not going to hurt a lot just to give up a few small things if you know they're not going to keep coming repeatedly knocking. You don't have to show them your war room. You can check in. If you've got a spare blanket, be kind, but don't leave yourself short. Being a prepper isn't just about surviving, it's about being calm when everybody else is panicking and being the one that's prepared for any eventuality. Now, I was supposed to be driving today and it's quite snowy outside. I really wouldn't recommend it unless you really actually have to. Luckily, I could work from home today. If you can put off a journey in the snow, then do it. It's not worth the additional risk. Now, today isn't even the worst of it. It's going to get worse towards the end of the week. This is where the weather models are showing that it's really going to be getting dicey. Google can show you the latest weather maps for the UK. They're changing all the time. You need to go and see the evidence for yourself and make sure you're prepared. So your final call to action then, guys. If your gear is buried under a pile of boxes in the garage, or it's stored away in the attic, or just forgotten in a cupboard gathering dust, do an inventory. Check batteries. Never leave batteries in stored items. They leak and ruin them. There are plenty of winter checklists stored online all over the place. Download a couple, not just one, download a couple and compare them. See which one is going to work better for you and your family and go from there. You don't have to be making your own. You can use a pre-made one as your starting point. Hopefully you enjoy the next video up here, guys. Stay safe, look after your neighbours, and I'll be back with you soon.